It's June 8th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a raid that terrified Europe, a strange new pastime gliding into the world stage, and a king whose reign ended in the middle of a celebration. Let's begin. On June 8th, in the year 793, a quiet holy island off the coast of England became the doorway to a nightmare. Lindisfarne was not a fortress. It had no high walls, no army waiting, and no reason to believe danger was coming from the sea. To the monks who lived there, the island was a sacred ground, a place of prayer, learning, and priceless religious treasures. Before the attack, strange signs were said to appear in the skies over Northumbria. Fiery whirlwinds, flashes of lightning, shapes like dragons moving through the clouds. And then the ships arrived. Long, narrow Viking vessels cut across the water and landed on the undefended beaches. The raiders moved fast. They stormed the monastery, broke into the holy buildings to seize gold, silver, and sacred objects. They turned the place of worship into a scene of terror. Monks were killed, others were dragged away as captives. The buildings that once held prayers and manuscripts were left in ruins. Across Europe, the shock was immediate. The sanctuary had been attacked. The sea, once the route of travel and trade, now looked like an open gate for something terrifying. The raid did more than destroy a monastery. It announced the beginning of the Viking Age. On June 8, 1844, London opened its doors to winter in the middle of summer. Inside a building on Baker Street, Victorians stepped into a strange new attraction called the Glaciarium, the world's first public artificial skating rink. But it was not real ice. There was no frozen lake, no winter wind, no natural frost beneath their feet. Instead, inventor Henry Kirk had created a chemical skating surface made from hog's lard, salts, and copper sulfate. A glossy imitation of ice spread across nearly 3,000 square feet. To make the illusion complete, the walls were painted like the snowy mountains and the glaciers of Switzerland. Visitors were meant to feel as though they had wandered into the lake of Lucerne. Even Prince Albert came to see the spectacle. For a brief moment, it seemed like the future had arrived, a place where winter could be manufactured, controlled, and sold. But there was one problem. The ice began to smell. Because beneath the alpine fantasy, there was a floor of pork fat, chemicals, and the glamorous frozen wonderland quickly became impossible to ignore. London had tried to create winter indoors and accidentally built one of the strangest skating rinks in history. On June 8, 1042, a royal wedding feast in Lambeth turned into a death scene. The celebration was being held for Tovi the Proud, a powerful Danish nobleman, and his bride, Jiffa, inside the estate south of the River Thames. Guests gathered for music, dancing, and drinking. Among them was King Harkuth. He was young, powerful, and the heir to the Danish line. But that night, surrounded by laughter and raised cups, his reign was about to end without warning. According to the old chronicles, he stood to drink to the health of the bride, and something went terribly wrong. The king convulsed and collapsed before the wedding guests. He was carried away, speechless, and soon after, dead. Some believed he had suffered a stroke, possibly brought on by heavy drinking. Others whispered of poison. Whatever the truth, the results were immediate. He had no heir, and with one collapse at a wedding feast, the Danish dynasty in England came to an end, and his half-brother, Edward the Confessor, took the throne. A celebration had become a royal turning point, and England's future changed before the cups were even empty. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.